Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Mary and welcome to another video. It's going to be a Christmas ornament. So I decided to do a Christmas ornament, another one, kind of like the one I did, what day was that? Wednesday? Yeah, where y'all seen me make this ornament here. Well, I'm going to be doing one very similar to this one. Only we're going to go ahead and put a kid on it. So, sorry about my lighting. It's gloomy here. It's been raining all morning. So, yeah, I'm trying to make the best of my lighting. So, I'm going to go ahead now and turn my camera down so we can go ahead and get into the video. So, what we're going to need for this video, I guess before we get into that, let's talk about what we're going to be making. So we're going to be doing a sled, another sled, and I already went and made one, and I just made this one a little bit smaller than the one I made Wednesday. So it's pretty small compared to this one. So, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a kid out of clothespins sitting on this sled. And these are the types of clothespins we're going to be using. And what I did was I took my saw and I cut it in half to basically make these two parts here the legs. So, once you cut it in half, this is what it's going to look like. So, I cut it in half, and then I glued the legs on, and I went ahead and painted this black, painted the legs black because this is going to represent his snow pants. And, yeah, so once you cut your clothespin in half, you're going to go ahead and glue it together in a setting position like this. Come on. Sorry, my doggy wanted to get up here with me. And in a setting position like this. And I'm going to go ahead. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and paint my sled red so it can go ahead and dry while I finish doing my my little guy here. So we're just going to go ahead and paint this red. Your fingers are going to get messy, but that's what soap and water is for. It's what I keep telling myself, because I seem to get all covered in paint when I'm crafting. So yeah. So yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to go on and paint this red. And I've made another ornament, but I didn't do a video on it. But I'll show it to y'all, and if y'all want to see how it's done, I will do a video for you Monday. Because as I mentioned before, I am going to start posting Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if I got any spare time throughout the week, I can post more videos. But here lately, I haven't really been having too much free time. I've been filling a bunch of orders, so I haven't really had a lot of time. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish painting this red. And then we're just going to set this to the side. And the good thing about this acrylic paint is that it actually dries pretty fast. So I'm just going to continue. Now the other ornament that I made is like almost like a person skiing. I actually made that the earlier part of the morning, but I didn't think about filming a video until I was like nearly done with it, because I didn't know how well it would come out. So I wanted to try it first before I actually do a video or tutorial on it. And it actually turned out pretty easy. So yeah. Okay. So we have this all painted. And we're just going to go ahead and set that to the side so it can dry. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring my light back, and we're going to go ahead and work on our little guy here. So basically what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and put a coat on our little guy. Okay, maybe. All right. So I picked to do the colors that I'm going with is I got a red pipe cleaner, a red ribbon. You're going to need red felt and green felt. And you're also going to need scissors. So we're just going to go ahead now and cut our felt. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut here. And I'm going to bring this back, and we're just going to trim off a little more. And this is my first time doing this type of ornament. So I'm just going to wrap it around and see how if I like the way it looks. So I'm just gonna play around with it for a minute and see if I'm gonna be happy with the outcome. That way, if I want to go ahead and glue it down, I can. All right. I think what we're gonna do is I am going to go ahead and put this here. Alright, so I'm going to grab my hot glue gun, and I am going to just go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue here. And I am just going to line this up just like this. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue down here. And then we're just going to go ahead and wrap this around. Okay. I am having like the hardest time trying to keep this felt wrapped. Alright, that seems pretty good to me. I am going to go ahead and put a layer of hot glue there, and we're just going to go ahead, stretch this. But be very careful not to burn yourself, like I've done several times in the past. Most recently. And I am going to go ahead now, and I'm just going to go and put a little bit of hot glue around the bottom. And we're just going to go ahead and push this down just like this. And I'm going to do the same thing around this side. And we're just going to go ahead and push. And this is what we have so far. Now, what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead now and take a piece of this red pipe cleaner, And this is we're just gonna put this down the front of his coat. So I am going to grab my scissors and we're just gonna cut here. And I am just gonna go ahead and glue this down. And you don't have to use the pipe cleaner if you don't want to. I just want to because it's just going to make this part of the coat stand out a little bit. It's going to be like the zipper part of the coat or the Velcro part of the coat, or it all depends. Okay, so this is what we have. I don't know how well y'all can see this because it is so gloomy outside. There's literally no sunlight. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take that same pipe cleaner that we have here, and we're going to go ahead and cut. We're going to measure. I'm just going to cut here. And we're going to do his arms. But we're going to do that in red. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave some of this sticking out because this is going to be the gloves or his mittens. So we're just going to go ahead and stick that right down on there. Just be careful that you don't burn your fingers like I just did again. And you're just going to roll that on itself just like this. And we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to cut this out. And I'm just kind of playing around with it. I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. Alright, and I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue. And we're just going to go ahead and secure it here. And we're going to do the same thing with the other one. So we're just going to grab some hot glue. Going to put a little there. And we're just going to stick it here. Going to put a little bit of hot glue here. And we're going to fold it over on itself. But again, be careful that you don't burn your fingers. And now we're just going to cut out like we did. And I am going to cut here. And I'm going to cut a little bit of off because this one is a lot longer than the other one. And I'm just going to look and see how I like that. And I'm going to go ahead to put a little bit of hot glue here. And we're just going to stick this right there, right on there. This is what we have so far. And I am going to take some of this leftover felt. And we're just going to cover this back here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue here. And we're just going to go ahead and stick this on just like this. And we're just going to cut off any extra. And I am going to just put a little bit of hot glue right there. And we're just going to hold that down into place. And that's what we have. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do a green scarf and a green hat. So that's what we have so far. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut some real thin green felt, which is going to be his scarf. And I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit. And I'm just going to, before I do that, I want to go ahead and make his hat. So I haven't figured out an easier way to do this, so I'm just going to do it the way that I basically did my first one, where I just did a layer of hot glue right across the center of his head, and then I took my scarf or my felt and I just kind of basically just went across it like this. And then I'm going to do the other side. And we're just going to glue this down like this. Hold on, let me see. I don't have, it is so rainy. So rainy. Alright. Hopefully that helped a little. So I am going to just cut this end off. We're going to cut this here because we don't need that much extra. So we have that cut. And now we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to tuck this in itself like this. So I got to cut this little piece off. And I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue in here, and we're just going to go ahead and with our fingers, and we're just going to push in and pull back. So this is what we have. This is what we have so far. Now we're going to do the scarf, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut off another piece of felt for the scarf. So alright. So this is what we have. And I am going to go ahead and just cut this here. And then we're just going to cut it here. And I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit. And now we're just going to go ahead and put a little hot glue right back here. And we're just going to go ahead and stick this right in place. Just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and pull it down this way. And then we're going to wrap it around this way. So I am going to go ahead and we're going to, I'm going to cut a little more of this at an angle. Like, let's see here. Like that. And then we're going to go ahead and I am just going to drag this across like this. So we're just going to point that down. And then we're just going to do the same thing with the other side. And I want this one to come hang down just like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue right there. And we're just going to pull it down. And this is what we have. I'm going to turn this light up. And this is what we have here. Now we're going to bring our sled back. And here is our little guy. And we're going to go ahead, and I got some hot glue on him. I'm going to go ahead and put some hot glue right on his bottom. And we're just going to stick him right down on here, just like this. And we're just going to hold it for a little bit. And you can adjust his hands any way you want to. I'm just going to have mine out to the side like this. And I got a little bit of hot glue there that I'm going to scrape off. And this is what we have. This is our little guy. And if you want to add anything else on here, you can. The last thing I'm going to do is take my ribbon, and I am just going to fold it like this, and we're just going to use a little bit of hot glue right there. And I gotta be very careful that I don't get more burns, because I really don't need no more. And we're going to put some hot glue right on the ribbon, and we're just going to stick this right here, and you're going to hold it for a little bit. And I'm going to give that a little more before I start trying to hold it, because I don't want the ribbon to fall off. Just like that. But what I'll do is I'll stick it on the top right here. We're just going to put the ribbon here. And depending on, we're not going to put up a Christmas tree. We never do. We don't have kids. It's just me and my husband. But I like making ornaments because I'll give them away to whoever wants them. But this is what it looks like when it's all finished. I'm going to turn this away. Let's see. Turn this up. And this is what it looks like when it's all finished. We have our little sleigh. You can hang it. And that's it. It was a quick and simple little fun video, but there we have it. And the one that I was talking about, where I made this morning because I was bored and I didn't have nothing else to do, and I didn't do a video for it, was this one here. This is one that I made. It's just a little ski, a little guy on skis. If y'all want to see how I did this, let me know in the comment box below, and I'll do a video on it. So this is the one I made this really early this morning. I doubt anybody was even, well, somebody was up somewhere. And then here's the one that we just did today. And you can always, if you want to, you can always put a face on him. I have my marker here. I can just go ahead and just do some black dots. So you can put a little, if my camera will focus. Okay, let's try this again. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but I just put a face on him. Y'all can do it if you want. And yeah, so like I said, if you want to see how I made this one, just let me know in the comment box below, and I will do a video on this. Even if you don't put it in a comment box, I most likely will do a video on it Monday for y'all. This weekend, we're going to have some family over visiting. So, yeah, I'll still will try to get a video out for y'all. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera back. What is on my arm? Turn my camera back up for y'all. And yeah, so that's basically it for this video. Like I said, I had fun making this little guy on the sleigh. And this one we can do on skis. If this is what y'all want to see, let me know in the comment box below. And this is the one that I made Wednesday. So I'm going to be trying to do mainly Christmas crafts. So yeah. With that being said, thank you so much for taking the time out to watch my video. And I hope you all have a very nice day. Bye.